Yes, we've done it, guys. We've qualified to the next stages of the Champions League. We're top of the group B. We are where we are supposed to be, and Spurs nor Inter can catch us now. But that doesn't mean that the next game against Tottenham is gonna be hard, because they're gonna be playing all on the line there, because they need to get a win at the Camp Nou. So that game is gonna be firing up. This game against PSV has been one of the matches I remember for a very long time where my heart was just pumping. Like, everything was on the edge, everything was like online, and it was an intense game. PSV could have gotten a comeback, and they could have also beaten us like 4-0. We gifted them so many chances that we can just write a whole like book about it. So with that being said, let's start the match review. If by any means you're interested in cheap, reliable footballing kits, be sure to check out Antigua. Links are gonna be in the description down below. They provide worldwide coverage, which is one of the best things I can recommend about them, as well as secure payment options to ensure you get the best service possible. You get the deal, you know the drill, but now let's get right into it. What's going on, guys? ¿Cómo están? BugaLuis here, welcome back to another video here on the channel, and today we're gonna talk about obviously Barcelona's victory at Eindhoven against PSV 2-1. The match ended, and whoa, it was a good match. It was one of those Champions League matches, because to be honest with you, PSV played at an outstanding level. Like I thought they would be. Like, really, their team has been playing outstanding in the Eredivisie. They has been doing beats against other Dutch teams, and certainly with the continuity and basically the same starting 11 week in, week out. I knew that they were gonna get in some form. I knew they were gonna come here and perform, and they did. And also taking into account that we also play good in some instances of the game. We did play good, and I'm happy for the win. But gosh, did we also give them so many chances. Ter Stegen, his clearances today, he has been already, I think, against Real Betis, and in this game he's been doing not so good on his delivery, and that was really surprising. Rakitic as well. Rakitic, man, you need to get dropped. You need to get out of this side. Not of Barcelona, you're a good player, I love you. Yeah, you're an amazing player, but you needed to keep resting, because for this game you were not prepared. I think that maybe his injury, or the fact that he has been playing for so damn long, for already like what, it's been 2 seasons he has been playing non-stop, because he had the full entire minutes of probably the last season, and then he played the World Cup, got to the final, especially in the knockout stages where he went to penalties every single round with Croatia, and now comes here and also plays every single game. Like, perhaps just like dropping like that, you know, your legs just like they like give up, and then if you have to come back into a game, you need also a little bit of time to recover and get back into it, get into the right rhythm. And that's something that with him today in the pitch, I just noticed that he wasn't at all, and that also transmitted to other players. Like, our midfield didn't have rhythm at all, and when that happened, our team wasn't clicking. Like, we had some really bad passes, we had some really bad interchanges between the players. We didn't really progress the ball as smoothly as we do like always, but that isn't something that I'm too worried about, because that's something that it's fixed with just the team playing more often together, certainly playing with other types of team, not someone like PSV that they were dying to win this match. They really need to get a result in this game. So in different situations, that type of error, that type of mistake, you may say, it disappears, and it's kind of easy to fix. So I'm not too worried about that. I'm here to talk about that game, which I just completely enjoyed. The first goal came obviously from Leo Messi, and Messi goal. Like, I don't know how he does it. Like, I really don't understand. Like, he was blocked by what, 5 or 6 players, and he just manages to weave past every single defender like he's not even there, and then he curls it around in the tightest of angle through Sweat. No, his name is Soot. So yeah, it's like, how can he do it? How can he absolutely do it? Like, I thought he was gonna pass it back to Dembele or something, just to gather up the defenders around him and then open up space for Dembele, or I think it was also Semedo who was overlapping over him, or it could have been Vidal. So I don't know, but then he just like curls it around. It's outstanding. Like, really good job from Lionel Messi, like always. I don't have to talk about him saying a good job, because he always does it. So yeah, amazing. The second goal came through The second goal came from Gerard Pique. It was an assist from Leo Messi again, so that certainly means that he has to be the man of the match. And this free kick was one where I just didn't like. I think everybody was like kind of like turned off by it. Everybody was like, yeah, nothing's gonna happen. It's out. It's very far outside. It's gonna be difficult. It's a difficult angle, difficult position of the ball, and then somehow it ended up in a goal. And the reason why I think Gerard Pique was so open to be able to score this goal is by a smooth, like quick and slight movement that Sergio Busquets did. Sergio Busquets looked at Dumfries, or it was either Dumfries or Rosario, and he just like saw the player that he was marking, Gerard Pique, and just looked at him and then moved just a little bit to get his attention. And when the ball was passed over, the initial reaction of a defender or anybody that's marking in a situation like that is to either go and close into the player that's gonna be more in front of him, or go back and defend the player that he was previously marking. And in that sense, Dumfries selected the opposite option, you know, or Rosario. I still don't know who it was. They pushed forward to Sergio Busquets because he didn't, for a moment, like a slight moment, forgot that Gerard Pique was behind him, because, you know, Busquets moved just before the ball is being taken from Messi, and the first thing you do is like, oh my god, there's a player there, I gotta go push him. And then it was completely open space for Gerard Pique to just put a slight tap in, and it was already 2-0 for Barcelona. And it was a very, very good way that we got a result, because by the moment we're performing like that, we had already been pressured at PSV so much, and it was our moment to dominate the game. And then obviously in the second half, we saw the goal from, well, all of the goals were in the second half, so forget about that comment. And so yeah, at the slightest, what about like 76th minute, I want to say, or 80th minute, I'm not too sure when the goal happened for PSV. And well, it was once again Luuk de Jong. Luuk de Jong played a really good and interesting game today. First of all, the jumping ability that this guy has, for some of the clearances from the area in the corner, and also for some of the chances he has gotten, he's jumping, man. I know he's a big guy, he's a really big guy, he's 6'4", but the jumping in this guy is outstanding. He doesn't even have to, like, you know, like curl your knees to jump higher. No, he just jumps, and then he has like the enough positioning with him to like hit the ball however he wants. And it's very difficult to try and defend someone like that, because normally what happens when you have a corner is the ball of the winger or whoever is trying to cross the ball, you want to put it at the same level as the rest of the people, and that happened. And that didn't happen, because since Luuk de Jong is that high up and he can jump so much more higher, the distance is way up. Something similar to what Cristiano Ronaldo does, but as you see in Cristiano Ronaldo, he like flexes to jump that high, not because of his stature, which, to be fair, is also like 6'2". Sorry about, guys, if the frame changes a little bit, because I had to change the battery pack, so now it may be different. But, well, who cares? Like, I mean, we're here to talk about Barcelona, not to talk about the framing of a YouTube video. So now that I allowed myself to take a breather, let's talk about a little more calmly about how the game started. So obviously the very first thing that I noticed was the first 11, like most of you did, and I was very happy with it. I was happy that Coutinho started, I was happy that Dembele started, but there was a name that I was kind of confused that it wasn't, and that was either someone like Aleñá, someone like Riqui Puig, or somebody like Malcolm. I just thought that Rakitic wasn't gonna play, and to be honest with you, I wouldn't have played him, because I already explained why he was bad, and it showed. It showed that he was playing really bad. Along him and Ter Stegen, they just created some of the worst passes in Barcelona, not history, but in Barcelona, like a recent 2 seasons. So yeah, that shocked me a little bit, but I understand also what Valverde was trying to do. Perhaps he wanted to have a much more solid midfield to try and keep the ball, due to PSV, like I said, trying to not exactly maintain possession, but just allow Barcelona to get more ball possession and then push forward to them to try and just gain up space quickly with counterattacks, and obviously the pace of people like Steven Bergwijn and Irving Lozano. Like I already mentioned before, Luuk de Jong for me was a stellar player for PSV. He came in deep, and with his stature basically and his presence, he just blocked Sergio Busquets, making it more difficult for Barcelona to have these smooth transitions from midfield to attack. Normally Busquets is that player. Busquets is the best player in the world at doing that, alongside someone like probably Christian Eriksen or Lionel Messi. Well, we all know Lionel Messi can do absolutely everything. So yeah, in that sense, Busquets, he's just such an outstanding player for that. And having somebody block him, like we've seen before other managers trying, it just made it much more difficult for Barcelona to try and get that rhythm into the game. That was the most important thing why PSV were able to have such an outstanding start basically in this game, because they just had that ability of starting with the ball, just pushing us forward back into our box. Quickly, before moving into the Barcelona players, which I think deserve a mention, we got to talk about 2 more PSV players. I feel that Pablo Rosario was incredible, like absolutely incredible. He may not have Frankie, he may not have Matias, he may not have De Ligt, he may not have De Jong, but this guy could be good. Like I haven't seen him that much, I haven't heard him that much. He hasn't certainly been on the headlines around the world because, you know, he's not De Jong or De Ligt, but if he continues like this, he may be a good player. I'm not saying for Barcelona, but there's something in this guy. Pablo Rosario really did amazing things today. He hit the crossbar 3 times in the first half. 3 times in the first half, and 2 from outside the box. This guy was absolutely superb. And I'm wondering why I haven't heard of him that much. Obviously, this season I knew him because he started playing with PSV like right from the get-go. But Mark Van Bommel certainly must have seen something in this guy because he did bits today. The other and final player PSV I want to mention is Iron Lozano, or El Chucky. El Chucky was outstanding just like always. Chucky reminds me a lot of Pedro. And Pedro was a player which I feel that most Barcelona fans don't understand how crucial he was for Pep Guardiola. And I hear and stand and say that I also didn't realize that while he was at Barcelona. But now that he's outside and we see how, for instance, a player like that just runs the field as much as he can be influential for a club, I feel that Lozano could have been an amazing player. So if we didn't bring somebody of, like, for instance, Malcolm's caliber, I would have brought someone like Lozano, because I think that Chucky is just incredible. You see how sometimes he just ran as a right back and was pressuring always. His pace in attack was outstanding. That play he did against Lenglet was incredible. He always fights for the ball and does it without even question. So that's why I praise players like that. Players like Paco Alcácer, for instance, that just fight to the end. And I love that so much. And it was good to see from a player like him, you know, his age, being in PSV, just fighting for that, knowing that it was hard to beat against a team like Barcelona, but he gave his all. And the same with all the PSV squad. So once again, congratulations PSV, not for beating Barcelona, but for making this an outstanding game. But I don't want to talk about Barcelona mostly. Let's talk about some players which I believe deserve a mention. So the very first one has to be Ousmane Dembele. I think that for the very first half, Ousmane Dembele was the best Barcelona player by far. He really understood the game and he read it perfectly. So it was a very mature performance from Ousmane Dembele, and that's exactly what I'm criticizing about Dembele. So if you've been in here on the channel and if you watch the videos, because I bet there are some people who just watch the first the first 2 minutes of the videos and just comment right away. They don't really understand what I'm saying about a player. So in the case of Ousmane Dembele, what I always criticize about him is decision making and basically the reading of the game and attitude. And that was completely solved by Dembele in this game. And that's very good to see. And that's what I want to see more of. So with that perfectly, Dembele did outstanding today. Like I said, a very mature performance in the first half. And it was something that I was very impressed by, because it means that he's learning. So if we can see this again against Villarreal, if we can see it after that, and more, I'm going to be completely happy with Dembele. So now the final thing I want to talk about Barcelona has to be Clement Lenglet. I already talked about Ter Stegen, I already talked about Rakitic. Vidal, outstanding, amazing player. I love this guy. Once again, I love the guy inside the pitch, outside, but still, I love Vidal. And then Clement Lenglet, I want to talk about him because there are some very stupid decisions that must be taken into account and must be held responsible for. In that sense, he was clumsy. He was really clumsy. He was taken out of position a lot of times. And I don't really blame him because he's been outstanding throughout the season. I blame the continuity that he's lacking now. He was replaced by Samuel Umtiti in the game against Atletico Madrid. And now we see how that is resulting in Samuel Umtiti getting injured. Why? Because he has been rushed back. Why? Why would you do that? You have a perfectly competent center back in Clement Lenglet right in your squad. Valverde, you shall not be pressured by the people above. Just should have played Lenglet. Just should have played Lenglet against Atletico Madrid, because now we have a Samuel Umtiti which is injured, again most probably, and now we have a Lenglet who needs to get 1 or 2 more games to get back into the rhythm he was having. It's absolutely stupid that something like this happened, and I'm really mad for that. Like, we got the win, everything perfectly, but I'm mad because now we just need to win more on a perfectly partnership, in a center back partnership. You could just see how we were completely gifting chances, and our positioning defensively was awful. It's not, once again, by the responsibility of Gerard Pique or Lenglet. I think it's a responsibility of the game before, talking about how Umtiti was rushed back. It's something which really annoys me, but at least we got the win, at least. Because PSV had like, what, 20 chances, attempts on target. So yeah, good job Barcelona at the end, getting the win. And now, obviously after this, I'm going to be taking a look at the other Champions League games. My Champions League recap will be coming up after this one. And then after that, so the next video is going to be Valverde talking about why he thinks we have so many injuries, which perfectly responds the question to what I just answered. Like, to what I just said. Why would you play Umtiti? Bullshit. So yeah guys, hopefully you have enjoyed this video. Please remember to drop us a like and leave us a subscribe. If I missed anything about this game, be sure to comment in the comment box down below, and I'll discuss it with you guys. And of course, my Champions League recap will be coming up after this video. See you in the next one. Take care. Ciao.